In this chapter, we will be discussing about the technology in the teaching and learning. So what do we mean by technology? Technology in its broadest terms could include overhead projectors and even pen and paper. But in the context of learning technology, it is generally understood that we are talking about technologies that have arrived with information revolution. Example are those associated with computers. Educational technology is an application of system approach to education and training. It emphasizes the interrelation of man, machine, methods, media, and materials, or the 5 M's. Educational technology is defined as development, application, and evaluation of systems, techniques, and aids to improve the process of human learning. In addition, educational technology is the combined use of computer hardware, software, and educational theory and practice to facilitate learning. Let's proceed to the educational technology objectives. The first one is transmitting information. Next is assisting the practice of special skills, contribution to the provision of feedback, the need to reach out to maximum numbers of students, to offer greater opportunities for independent study, to design, modify, and develop appropriate equipment or aids suitable and relevant to the educational process. Another way is to identify the educational needs of the learner, to identify the necessary teaching and learning materials, to plan teaching strategies, models, and methods as per the need and objectives, to evaluate the effectiveness of teaching strategy in terms of learning outcomes, to provide appropriate feedback to students as well as teachers, and to modify the teaching learning process on the basis of feedback received. The next one is the scope of educational technology. First is spelling out educational goals and objectives. It is based on individualized and social needs. Next is the smart use of technology reduces wasted time, energy, and money. We all know that technology makes our life more convenient. The third one is the curriculum development. It is planning of curricular and co-curricular inputs in order to realize planned goals and objectives. The fourth one is developing teaching learning materials and resources. It develops necessary learning materials in the form of programmed learning books, computer learning packages, mass media instruction, individualized and self-instructional packages, and etc. The fifth one is developing human resource. Educational technology covers the area of teacher education. Next is developing strategies. The teaching strategies, approaches, and methods are devised and developed catering the different types of students.
So next is developing multisensory aids. So it focuses on the design and development of audiovisual aids. So using audiovisual aids helps students to clarify important concepts, sustain students' interest, give all students in a class the opportunity to share experiences necessary for new learning. And it also helps makes learning more permanent. Next, feedback mechanism and modification. So educational technology develops tool of evaluation to provide feedback. So giving effective feedback for learning is one of the best ways to improve students' performance. So constructive feedback allows teachers to build and maintain a conversation over time. So education technology empowers teachers to help students on an individual basis. So with the right technology, instructors deliver timely, effective feedback with the power to achieve greater learning. So next, develops passive instruction services. So education radio, TV, computers are used for transmitting information. So they are passive services since all decisions are in hands of the providers. So specifically, what to be presented, for how long, in what sequence, and when. So next, it develops interactive instruction services. So, educational technology tries to provide opportunities for the learners to control the pace, mode of presentation, and etc. So, specifically, computer-assisted instructions or the CAI and teleconferencing via internet and etc. So, in here, telecommunication devices is being used to hold discussions between students in different locations. So, just like what we are doing right now. So next, develops learning environments. So educational technology develops learning environments that are learner friendly. So for example, simulation. So most notably, technology engages students in simulated experiences and encourages them to practice collaborative decision making skills. So next, developing information resources. So educational technology bridging the gap between developments in information technology and education. So information resources like e-libraries, online encyclopedia, and World Wide Web is being used. So students can still learn wherever they are. Students can learn something new even without physically stepping into the classroom. And so learning never has to stop. Next, develop communication devices. So, educational technology has developed communication devices for students who have mental capability to communicate but are not able to speak. So, there are some assistive devices or technologies that help students who have speech problems, just like augmentative and alternative communication, or the AAC devices. So, which helps people with communication disorder to express themselves. So these devices can range from a simple picture board to a computer program that synthesizes speech from text. So next, to reduce the burden of teachers. So educational technology supports the teacher in teaching learning process. So technology enhances record keeping, greatly improving the teacher's analysis of students' performance. So especially the identification of skills which could be improved by deliberate practice. So next, technology in education. So it refers to the application of technology to any process of educational enterprises. So it uses the technological advancement in terms of various equipments, materials, and machines for educational purposes. It also involves the increasingly complex range of audiovisual equipments, sophisticated electronic devices like projectors, films, radio, TV, tape recorder, and computers for individualization and group learning. So technology in teaching is an important tool to support both teaching and learning. So technology infuses classroom with digital learning tools. The next is the technology of education. So technology of education is the application of psychology, of learning theories, principles of instructions, curriculum, and learning to the process of education. So in this, the educationalists are involved in designing and evaluation of system of learning. So it enables a teacher to use a variety of media and modes to make his teaching effective.
Teaching with technology. Teaching with technology requires 4 variables, namely the instructor, the student, the content, and technology itself. First is the instructor. Technology must help in the instructor's role as a teacher. He or she must have technology skill level and must provide time availability. Second is the student. Technology in teaching must suit the student's learning styles. The students must also acquire technology skills and must also gain access in technology. Third is the content. In teaching with technology, it is important that the content must match the cognitive levels and contains the discipline that should be taught. Fourth is the technology. There are many available technologies now in teaching. However, different types of technology have different usage. Therefore, in teaching with technology, the types and its appropriate usage must be properly administered. Technology usage in the classroom. Educational technology is a tool used to personalize learning, that promotes learning through discovery, and that respects diversity of students. Personalized learning and learning through discovery implies that it passes through the National Educational Technology Standards for teachers, while personalized learning and diversity of students implies that there is a universal design for learning. And learning through discovery and diversity of students implies that it adheres to the new pedagogical DNA for the 21st century. Technology can enhance teaching and learning by providing multiple material types for all learning styles, enhancing communication between faculty and student to student, promoting constructivist and active learning, enhancing collaborative teaching and learning, providing asynchronous and synchronous communication, promoting higher expectations via peer review and feedback, providing prompt progress information, enabling stronger group collaboration, promoting and fostering lifelong learning. Best practices for using technology in the classroom. When using technology for teaching, there are 4 basic principles to be kept in mind. First is alignment. Technology should be used for a purpose, not for the sake of being flashy and not as a distraction from other forms of pedagogy. Second is accessibility. Be sure that the technology that you intend to use is accessible to your students. Third is assessment. As with lectures, discussions, and labs, provide your students with guidance when dealing with media technologies. And last, reinforcement. Technology should be used as a reinforcement of and supplement to your teaching.